looked in the mirror and believed lies, that you're not enough, that you've messed up too much, that God could never truly love someone like you. You've let your past define you, let shame write your story, and somewhere along the way, you started to think God sees you the same way you see yourself, through a lens of failure. But what if He doesn't? What if God doesn't see you as broken, but becoming? Not as filthy, but forgiven. Not as worthless, but wanted. Because God doesn't look at you through your wounds. He looks at you through His Son. And when He sees you, He sees someone He died for, someone He chose, someone He's not done with. You may see flaws. He sees His image. You may see guilt. He sees grace. You may feel unworthy, but He says you're still His. You think God sees what everyone else sees, the mistakes, the mess, the moments you hope no one finds out about. But His eyes don't scan for failure, they search for faith. And even when your faith feels small, even when you barely believe, He leans in. He's not surprised by your weakness. He's not shocked by your story. He's already seen it all, and He stayed. That's how God sees you, fully known, fully loved, not based on your performance, but His promise. You can't lose His love by being broken. In fact, it's your brokenness that draws Him closer. He sees your hidden pain, the silent battles, the inner shame you've carried for years, and still, He calls you chosen. He calls you His. So maybe it's time you stop agreeing with the lies and start agreeing with grace. You see failure. God sees formation. You see delay. God sees development. You see yourself as falling behind. He sees you as right on time, His time. The world has taught you to measure your worth by success, by status, by how clean your story looks. But God's not after your image. He's after your heart. And even when your heart feels distant, distracted, or doubting, He still calls it His. You're not the sum of your sins. You're the echo of His sacrifice. Every time you think, God must be disappointed in me, remember this. The cross wasn't a backup plan. It was the plan, because He knew your weakness, and He still chose you, not reluctantly, but fully, with joy, with intention. You think you're too much, or not enough, but He says, you're mine, as you are. You don't have to earn what's already been given. God's love isn't performance-based, it's presence-based. He's not watching from a distance, waiting for you to clean up. He's already near, already reaching, already whispering, you're still loved. The lies you've believed for so long, that you're too dirty, too inconsistent, too broken, those didn't come from Him. They came from shame. But shame isn't your shepherd. Jesus is. And He doesn't call you by your failure. He calls you by your name. You're not labeled by your sin. You're marked by His sacrifice. And He didn't die so you'd live in fear of never being enough. He died to show you that in Him you already are. So stop rehearsing your regrets. Start receiving your redemption. You are not a project to be fixed. You're a person to be loved. And He does, fully. You think God sees you through the lens of what you lack, but He sees you through the lens of what He placed in you, His image, His breath, His fingerprints. You are not forgotten, not overlooked. You were crafted with care, seen before you were born, and called before you ever called on Him. Your scars don't scare Him. Your doubts don't disqualify you. The parts of your story you want to erase might be the very places He wants to redeem. You don't have to pretend anymore. God doesn't love the version of you you're trying to be. He loves the real you, tired, unsure, in process. You've been trying to prove your worth, but God's already declared it. You've been begging for approval, but He's already adopted you. So rest, breathe. You're not who you were. You're who He's shaping you to become. God doesn't define you by what you've done. He defines you by what Jesus did, and that changes everything. You may still struggle, still fall, still feel unworthy, but your feelings don't rewrite His truth. He sees you through covenant, not performance, through grace, not guilt. You think you've blown it too many times. His mercy says, "My love is still greater." You think you're too broken to be used. His calling says, "I've already chosen you." This isn't about being enough. It's about being loved enough to come home. You don't have to hide behind religion or shame. Just show up as you are. Because the real you, the messy, healing, unfinished you, is exactly who He's been waiting for. He's not asking for more effort. He's asking for your heart. And when you offer it, He doesn't flinch, He rejoices. Maybe you've been trying to live up to a version of yourself God never asked you to be. More polished, more perfect, more put together. But He's not asking for your performance. He's asking for your presence. He just wants you, the one who's tired, the one who's doubting, the one who's barely holding it together. That version of you, He sees it, He loves it, and He's not running from it. Because real love doesn't need filters. It doesn't require you to get it all right. It just requires surrender. When God looks at you, He doesn't see a mistake. He sees a masterpiece in progress. Someone worth dying for. Someone worth staying for. So what if today you stopped hiding behind guilt and started healing through grace? What if the truest thing about you is the way God sees you? God isn't waiting for a better version of you. He's loving the real you, right now. The one with the questions, the one with the history, the one who still wonders, am I really seen? And His answer is simple. Yes, fully, completely, without hesitation. You're not tolerated. You're treasured, not barely accepted, deeply known. He's not disappointed in who you are. He's invested in who you're becoming. And every moment you choose to believe that, healing begins. Not because you've changed everything, but because you finally let Him in. So stop running, stop pretending, stop trying to earn what was always a gift. You are loved, you are seen, and you are still His. If you really believed God saw you this way, how would it change the way you see yourself?